Morning, Michelle. So just a quick video to talk through the three surveys. So I'm just in the data analysis tab of the first survey, sorry. So in here, I'm just going to click on tools. I'm going to go to choose columns. I'm then going to go to embedded data, and I'm going to bring in the column that says recipient email. So now you'll see here we have a column that pulls in that recipient email. That's the embedded data that we've based off of, not the actual question, because here's the question over here. So now if I export this data, there should also be a column somewhere in here that's just called recipient email, and it should pull in that value. So if this is the case for the first one, we're just going to test out the second and third to make sure it's pulling through the whole way into all of them. And if there is a survey where it's missing, then we can try and identify why that's happening. Okay, so I have the file now, so bear with me for 1 second. I'm just going to open up. Okay, so when it loads, here is our file. So now here is a column here that's called recipient email, because this is the only embedded data field we have, and it's actually pulling in the email address right here. So that's for the first survey. So now let's go take a look at the second and third survey to make sure it's pulling in there as well. I'll only be doing the column in the download or in data analysis because it's going to be the same in the other surveys as well. So I'm going to go into part 2, data analysis, and fingers crossed that this is pulling through into part 2. So choose columns, embedded data, recipient email, and there's the recipient email pulling through here as well. So I understand that there's a lot of the same. There's not, because you have unique emails. So yeah, you can kind of link these up using test 2, test 1, and so on. And then we're just going to double check part 3 as well to make sure it's pulling in here. And if that is the case, then you have the recipient email that's pulling through into all 3 surveys that you can link all of the responses together. So let's see, choose columns, embedded data, recipient email. And there we are. So all of them are actually pulling through. You have recipient email, and when you export your data, there should be a column in all 3 of these called recipient email. So all you need to do is just kind of have a look at those and see what email address this is and tie it to that response, and then just tie them across your 3 data sets. So I hope this answers your question, but if you do have any issues with this, please just let me know.